Hello students, how are you? Today we are going to talk about, I am going to talk about movies. So I've made a list of movies to you and are movies from Netflix, okay? But of course you can find these movies in other places like on YouTube or another websites like Netflix, like streaming, okay? So my first movie, the first movie I have chosen for this list is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. This is number 2. Let me put number 1. To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Okay, so it's very cute. I think it's more recommended for teenagers, but everyone who loves a love story, a loving movie, a romantic movie, will enjoy this movie. So we have the first movie here, and we have the second movie too. So if you enjoy the first movie, you can watch the second one, right? So To All the Boys I've Loved Before. The second movie in my list is, the last movie was a romantic movie. Now I have a true story. Yeah, I like true stories. Do you like? So the second movie is The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. It's very, very dramatic, but I love drama, so I found it amazing. So if you like dramas and if you like real stories, this is the movie for you. I have nothing to say about it because if I say I will tell you the story, but I found it amazing. And the story, the place, the difficulties, it's about a lot of difficulties. It's wonderful. In my opinion, is a must-see movie. Even if you don't like dramas, it's interesting to see another reality, because sometimes we only see our reality, so it's a chance to see another reality very hard, different from our, okay? So this is my second movie. Gandhi is my third movie choice. It's the story of Gandhi, an Indian guy who changed the history of India. He was wonderful. His point of views about everything. He was very kind, very generous. So if you want to watch a movie, a real movie too, is my second real story. It's kind of a documentary about Gandhi. If you, like me, because before this movie I heard a lot about Gandhi, but I had never really studied about his history and the India history and how the British were using the country in this time. So I think this is something very nice, and it's a little about history class for you too, okay? So this is my third movie. Changing a little, but not too much, my other choice was Miracles from Heaven. It's not so new, this movie, it's a little old, and it's a religious movie if you think, because it's about a miracle. And I didn't realize before, but now I'm realizing that I think I like real stories, and this is based in a real story too. I think it's the third based on a real story, but I think it's my taste. Miracles from Heaven is about a little girl that has no hope, and suddenly everything changes because of the faith. Maybe, I think so. It's what the movie shows. So if you like religious movies, if you like to see miracles, faith, this is the movie for you. Okay, so Miracles from Heaven. The founder is another true story. Yeah, I think I have chosen just true stories, but do you like McDonald's? Yeah? Not? Well, it doesn't matter because it's about curiosity. So even if you don't like McDonald's, here you can see the story behind McDonald's and be a little angry like me and the people that have already watched this movie because it's very unfair, the story of McDonald's, so the history of McDonald's. So if you want to know about it, if you like business, and if you like if you are just curious to know how McDonald's was founded, this is a nice movie for you, okay? So my recommendation is The Founder. My other recommendation is Collateral Beauty. Wow, it's fiction and it's not based on a real life. Imagine that you are a little depressed and then you can talk to some of the things of life. For example, you can talk to the death and you can talk to the love. So it's very crazy but very interesting, this movie. Well, I like almost all the movies of Will Smith, so I can already tell you that this is one of that kinds of Will Smith movies. And I think one of the reasons to watch would be about the main actor, but all the actors are very good, all the actors are famous of this movie, the Collateral Beauty. And it's dramatic, so if you like dramas, you will like it. But there is a happy end. It's not only drama, and I think it's interesting because it shows that everybody has problems and everybody has reasons to be sad sometimes, but there are people that get too much involved on it, and sometimes you need to get out of this. Okay? So my other recommendation is Collateral Beauty. Not only drama, okay? I have chosen a comedy for your list. Baywatch is a comedy, very silly. I have to be sincere, but it's funny. Not that kind of silly series is this, but it's funny. And the main actor is The Rock. Well, if you keep up the movies of The Rock, you will realize that most of them are funny, are comedies. And the second main actor is Zac Efron that is always in comedies too, almost always. Okay, so this is my other recommendation, right? Baywatch. Fantastic Beasts. If you like Harry Potter, you will enjoy watching Fantastic Beasts because it's kind of the beginning of the story. And well, it's a little different because the main actor is very crazy and like animals, but magic animals, of course, because it's about magic. These movies of Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts. And I think if you already watch it, you can watch again, because if you watch it, it seems that you like it. And well, what is different about the other movies that I recommended? This one is more like fantasy. The other movies I recommended before are not The Collateral Beauty is fantasy too, but this is more more fantasy. Okay, so The Fantastic Beasts is one of the. I have two recommendations of fantasy. This is the first Fantastic Beasts, okay, and I will show the other. Okay. So, Bright is the second fantasy kind of movie that I have chosen. Well, as you can see, here is Will Smith again. So, yeah, I enjoy most of his movies and series. And Bright is completely different of the other projects of him because it's completely fantasy. There are monsters in the city living with humans. It's very crazy. So if you like this kind of movies mixing monsters and real people, you will enjoy this movie. And it's a comedy too. Okay, there are fights, things like that. Okay, so Bright is my other recommendation of fantasy. Now I have chosen romance. If you are a fan of Nicholas Sparks, this is a nice movie for you because it's based on one of these stories. And it's an adaptation of Nicholas Sparks' stories, a novel. And, well, The Lucky One, there is Zac Efron as the main actor. And, well, it's very romantic, that kind of conflicts. I know Nicholas Sparks loves a drama. It's a little dramatic, but not so much, okay? It's not that kind of deep drama, you're not going to cry all the movie, no. It's a soft drama, it's more romantic than dramatic, okay? So, I like when a romance a little more modern, comparing another kinds of romances, and not so teen like the first one that I told you, okay? The Lucky One. My next choice is a little different. Well, it's Sergio. Sergio is dead. A Brazilian guy, Sergio de Mello. I don't know if you have already heard about him. And he worked in the UN, and he was a diplomatic of the United Nations. And I have chosen this movie not because it's really good, because it didn't really catch me, but because I found it interesting. First, because it's about a Brazilian guy. He was very important for the UN, and the actors, the main actor, Wagner Moura, is Brazilian, but the movie is in English, and he speaks English during the movie. So, yeah, you probably, when I said Sergio, you said, Carol, this is not a movie in English, but it is, and this is the interesting part for me in this movie, because the main actor speaks another languages, because diplomatic guys usually speaks another language, but the main language of the movie, the language that this movie was made, was English. So I think this is very interesting to watch and to know about this guy, that he was Brazilian and we didn't know about him before, and we haven't known about him before, so now you can know about him, and he's Brazilian. So Sergio is one of my recommendations. And if you like superheroes, well, on Netflix there are many. We have Avengers, we have Civil War, and Thor, Captain America, Ant-Man, that's very funny. I think it's the funniest of them. Ant-Man, Spider-Man, and so on. And if you like GC, there is the Man of Steel, the old Superman, if you are a little like old person. Well, there are options for the fans of superheroes too, okay? Then I think these are my recommendations on Netflix. They are not exactly my favorite movies, but they are movies that are not so famous and are interesting. You can watch on Netflix and practice your English. That is what matters. And don't forget to let it in English, of course. If you are not so fluent, you can watch the movies with the subtitles in Portuguese. Okay? If you are a little more comfortable, you can watch with the subtitles in English. And if you are very okay, wanting to practice a lot, no subtitles. Yeah, also, why not? So this is the list of some movies I can recommend for you to watch at Netflix. Out of Netflix, you can find them too, most of them, in other websites, on YouTube, okay? So don't be worried like, oh my god, I don't have Netflix, Carol, what are you doing this? Why are you doing this? No, don't worry, you can find in other movies and other websites too. And soon I will make a list of series too, okay? So for today, only the movies. On the next video, we can watch the series, okay? So, bye bye, I hope you have enjoyed it.